I'm delighted to be hosting this conversation with Sam Pitroda. Sam is well-known and frequently mentioned in India as the father of the information technology and the telecom revolution. Has a long career in business, in government, and as an author. And is the author of a recent book called The Idea of Democracy. We're going to talk about that book. We're going to talk about the other book, recent book, Redesigning the World. And it's great to have him. He's in Bogotá. That's the reason we're having this conversation here in Colombia. You come at the right time to our country. It's a time where, we have every 4 years elections, and when there are elections, it's the fair of ideas. And it's a great opportunity to discuss what's happening in the world and what can we learn from other parts. And I want to begin this conversation by talking about your latest book about the idea of democracy in this world with AI. I mean, AI is all over today in the newspaper in Colombia. There are several pages on AI, what Colombia has to do, then the policies that have to be adopted in the context of AI. So I wanted to ask you about your book, The Idea of Democracy, and what should we take away from that book?
First of all, thank you for this opportunity. I'm delighted to be here in your country. I wish I could spend more time. It feels more like India in many ways. So I feel at home.
Great.
Thank you.
Welcome to Colombia.
Thank you. I wrote a book on the idea of democracy recently, mainly because I felt that democracy is being attacked in many parts of the world in different ways by undermining institutions, whether it is judiciary, security, income tax, police, universities, or whatever. And at the same time, media is controlled and managed and manipulated. And civil society is put under threat. These are the three main pillars of any democracy: free and fair elections, free media, independent institutions, and vibrant civil society. Especially at this time when AI is going to really empower individuals through access to knowledge. This idea of not expanding democracy is antithesis. Because all our technologies today, especially telecom, IT-related technologies, are designed to empower people. For the first time in the human history, all 8 billion people are connected. Never happened before. What does this connectivity mean to human civilization? So after connectivity, internet gave us ability to get information. But that wasn't enough. We needed something else to give us knowledge. And AI has come at the right time. So when you have knowledge, everyone feels empowered. Everyone feels that they can participate. Education has a different meaning. Governance has a different meaning. I'll give you a simple example. In India, we have 50 million court cases pending. It takes 10, 15, 20 years to get justice.
Same here, by the way. Same situation.
Yeah. I think a lot of these problems are global problems.
Tax evasion, corruption.
Absolutely. Same.
Low educational standards. Things that we think we can resolve with AI, but are we going to be able to?
I think so. It depends on how we use AI. AI can be used just for productivity, efficiency, cost reduction, for big companies to just make more money, or AI can be used with local databases, with local focus on solving local problems.
Are we going to solve those problems by asking questions to ChatGPT?
I think you can get right information by asking right questions to ChatGPT. Let's take hunger. A simple example.
Yes.
We know that 40% of food is wasted in advanced countries when it gets to the table. And 40% is wasted in poor countries before it gets to the table. So AI can tell us details about distribution, delivery, storage, where is it being wasted, where are the hungry people, who is feeding the hungry people, how to get to them. Today, that information is not available in real time.
Yeah. That's a great example. We do have an issue with hunger.
I'm sure we have issue with
topic. It's a key policy goal. Then the question would be, do we have to use our data in another way? Do we have to protect our data?
No, first you need to organize your local data. You cannot use AI on American, European, Japanese, or Chinese data. You have to use AI on your data. Let's take court cases. If you want to settle your court cases using AI, you need your own data. AI cannot help you on having court data from US.
Sure.
So how do you organize your own data? And I believe that if you can, in India at least, handle existing backlog and do justice in 2 years, you can probably add 2% to GDP.
I agree. Question is, should we first invest in organizing that data, making it public?
That to me is the first step.
What about the models? To answer the right question.
Models are available.
Invest in developing those models? Do we have to create our own LLMs?
I don't think so. I think a lot of that knowledge is available and we should use it. Okay, people have spent billions and billions in creating this, and whatever we can use, we should use it.
So we should develop our own applications based on those.
First, get your own data.
Yes.
Then develop your own applications.
I was thinking about, as president of Colombia, creating national championships, challenges for people to develop those applications where we have the greatest interest. Say corruption, say the congestion in the judiciary, things of that nature. But then create incentives so that people go and develop those applications. But we need the data first.
First, you look at your e-governance today. You sure have some e-governance today in the government.
Yes.
All of that is obsolete because that software was written 10, 15 years ago.
And the concept is different. The concept
is very different.
Digitalizing
existing old processes.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's like you want to pay traffic.
Exactly. So you need to redo the processes.
Yeah.
You need to use AI. You need to then get every citizen an ID, electronic ID of some kind.
Yeah.
Okay. And you need to simplify government forms. You need AI to fill in all the forms and not people to fill in.
Yeah.
And you got to have that identity of a person running across all fields.
Yes.
And not have vertical silos that your ID for driver's license is different than ID for, food collection and ID for, payment. See, This has evolved over a period of time as vertical silos.
Of course, that agenda has not been completed, but in a way, it's old. I'd say it's the agenda for the last 10 years. Make sure that...
So when we talk about AI for public good, this has to be the key.
Okay. It's like a building block. You need to have that. You need to have the data, and then you can build the applications.
But you can't use AI sitting here fiddling with ChatGPT every day
Yeah.
and expect to solve your...
That's a very good point. Related to hunger, but a very kind of like critical problem of Colombia today is health. Colombia has universal health insurance provided by the government, by the way, but bad delivery, bad services. And it's kind of like one of the key topics in the political campaign these days, how to improve health services. One of the things that we need is that anywhere in Colombia, you should be able to access your history, your health history. And that the exams you do here or there, they all go to the same place. So that whenever you need something, you have access to all that information. I mean, that's kind of like the old e-government type of goal. But we need to make sure that that happens. It hasn't happened. We need to make sure
I think the health challenge is pretty complicated all over the world because insurance and big hospitals and big pharma has taken over the health data. My health data is not my property. It is somebody else's property. So if you really want to improve health according to me, and I'm in minority perhaps on this view, make me in charge of my health. Today, I am not in charge of my health. I have no understanding. I don't have one place, all my blood tests and x-rays and doctors and dentists on my phone. I have all them spread all over.
Mm-hmm.
I want everyone in one place. From my dentist to my, cardiologist to my, whatever. I need to take responsibility for my health.
Mm-hmm.
Today, I'm not taking responsibility for my health. I go to doctor when I get into trouble and then turn over that responsibility to doctor. Fix me.
Mm-hmm.
In this process, doctor-patient relationship has broken. To me, the key to health is doctor-patient relationship. Big industry has come in and broken that tie systematically.
So we should start by making you the owner of your health information.
And also knowledgeable.
And knowledgeable. And be able to use it. And then AI comes in.
Then AI comes in.
You could use AI.
Absolutely.
Would you rely on AI for a diagnosis?
Sure. It may not be of the ultimate order, but simple things I would. Yeah. I won't run to doctor for a simple little thing.
Think of the rural areas, remote areas, where there are no hospitals or at least no advanced.
You can get a lot of information. I'll give you an example. Prostate.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of men have prostate problems at some point in life. Very few really understand prostate.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? What does it do? How does it get bad? What are the issues? How does it get connected to everything else? We just rely on our doctor. Can I learn about it? AI can teach you a lot of this stuff.
Sure. And when it comes to treatment, then you could go to one specialized.
Then you are knowledgeable.
But you don't have to have the specialized center everywhere.
Yes.
I think that's part of the solution in Colombia. So AI is seen, and just to conclude with the book of the idea of democracy, which brings AI and democracy into play. AI is seen today in the world as a challenge and as an opportunity. But let's discuss that in the context of an emerging economy like Colombia. Is it more of an opportunity or more of a challenge?
I think it is both. It's an opportunity and it's also a challenge. Challenge because it is going to transform jobs. Routine jobs of clerks, people who are filling forms, will vanish.
750,000 Colombians work in call centers, providing services for the...
It will vanish over a period of time.
And we need to think about what
we need to create new jobs. We need to really look at new jobs. And the idea of job has to change. Job doesn't have to be 40 hours a week. See, when AI comes in and a lot of the robotics come in and production gets automated, there'll be enough of production for everybody without working 40 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Food prices will go down, hopefully. Prices of the goods will go down. Take a simple example of self-driven car.
Mm-hmm.
Just let's talk that through a little bit. When self-driven car comes to Colombia, first of all, you won't need driver's license. That whole department will go. You won't need insurance. You won't need parking space. You won't need garage. Everything is gone. These cars will be running 24 hours. You can order whatever car you need. You won't be able to brag that I have a Mercedes and my friend has Volkswagen. Because you don't have a car, you can order Mercedes today and you can order Volkswagen tomorrow.
Hmm.
Okay. In addition, today we produce in the world, let's say 50 million cars a year. 90% of the time, car is parked. So I don't need to produce 50 million cars a year. I need to produce 5 million cars.
You need less capital invested in that.
You need less steel.
You can mobilize it too.
You need less leather. So you will be able to do more for less.
Hmm.
This is a very important point. Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of these jobs we have today are probably not needed.
I'm going throughout the country, discussing, talking to people, asking people about their questions and what the problems are. And I see many young Colombians wanting to leave the country, migrate and work elsewhere because of lack of opportunities here. And that's a big loss because it's talented human capital. So it's not a good thing. And we need to provide opportunities for them here. I'm talking about, for example, exports of services. We're good at doing exports of health services, tourism, programmers, software developers, people experts on cybersecurity, things of that nature, digital marketing. Yeah. Even doing the architectural blueprints and selling them to the big architectural companies in the world. Anyway, selling dollars, invoicing dollars, and leaving pesos. That's my dream. That's something I hope we can develop here in Colombia. But we have to bring opportunities to these kids. Many of them finishing their university degrees. Do you think there is a connection between the challenges of AI, the opportunities that AI brings, and making sure that we can develop those jobs here in Colombia? The main point behind this is that the cost of an hour of an engineer in Colombia could be 1/10 of the cost of an engineer in the US. Is there an opportunity for us there in the context of AI in particular?
Sure. But you need to think global, but act local. When we started IT revolution in India, in Rajiv Gandhi's time, India had 2 million telephones. India did zero software export.
Mm-hmm.
In 40 years, we have 1.5 billion phones, and we do $300 billion a year in software export. That's not a small number.
Huge. It's Colombia's GDP.
Okay.
It's the entire Colombia.
It got done because we planted right seeds 40 years ago to create human capacity. So the challenge is to really build human capacity in these areas because there's going to be a shortage of talented people. If you can create talented people here, they'll be able to do that. If you can't create talented people here, it'll remain a dream.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one side. The other side is we need to create local jobs. Everybody can't be looking at selling to America because there is a limit to it.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to, in all developing world, decentralize our economy. In every district, there should be a good hospital. In every district, there has to be a good college. In every district, there has to be a good factory. in every district there has to be a good sort of, farmhouses or whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
Okay. Farm factories. So unless and until we decentralize our economy, we can't create good jobs. Okay. For example, farm tourism. Why can't city people go spend 2-3 days in a farm and teach their children how to milk a cow, how to grow? So we got to think differently because we are still thinking of the Western model.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever they do is the thing to do. No, we have our own things to do.
Agree. And now that you mentioned this, you are coming to Colombia in the context of a visit by Rahul Gandhi,
Yes.
India's very prominent MP.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he's coming to Colombia and other parts of Latin America with the idea of strengthening relations and connections.
And also understanding your perception,
Yeah.
your priorities. We want to listen and we want to see if we can build better relationship in Latin America.
That's the point. That was what I was going to ask you. Because you said earlier that we think of export of services. I was mentioning of export of services, of like with the idea that the U.S. is the market. But no, I mean, the world is changing.
Huge.
This should be...
India is 1.5 billion people.
Yeah, and this could be a good connection with your other book about redesigning the world,
Right.
which is we live in a multipolar world.
Right.
The impressive increase in income standards, in living standards in India, in China, changed the whole dynamics. And we should be thinking about those countries as sources of market for our goods, ideas for the things.
Partnerships.
Collaboration. I mean, you're very good at, India is very good at services exports.
Sure.
And that's, if we want to go that way, we could go that way. We also could be very important, very large producer of food.
Absolutely.
For the world. And you need food.
Absolutely.
You need food. That's one of the big advantages of a country like Colombia, the natural resources, the endowment in terms of water, the soil, the fertility of the land, the biodiversity.
Your biodiversity is unique.
It's something that we admire and we feel proud of as Colombians and we want to protect as Colombians. But we need also to be able to monetize that. We should be able to earn
Sure.
from our biodiversity.
Sure.
Either by the simplest of all forms, which is selling carbon credits. Make sure that we pay for the role that we play for the world. But more than that, develop products, develop biodiversity, develop technologies, develop new
Tourism. Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's in that context that this partnership between India and Colombia could flourish.
Absolutely. We are here to explore, we are here to learn, we are here to listen. And we feel that we haven't paid much attention to Latin America in the past. And Latin America has not paid much attention to India as well.
Okay. I mentioned your other book, Redesigning the World. I have been thinking about this issue of how to pay for the global public good. So, I mean, we need to deal with pandemics, we need to deal with climate change, we need to deal with cybersecurity. But we don't have the framework to really act globally on those areas. What's your kind of like main message from that book?
First of all, I must say that the world was last designed when I was born in 1942. That design gave birth to UN, World Bank, IMF, WTO, WHO, ultimately NATO. And I believe that design is basically obsolete. In a hyper-connected world, we need a new design. World is no longer unipolar or bipolar. World has to be a multipolar world. We recognize that. How it evolves, we have to work together to make sure that everybody is a party to this evolution. To begin with, I personally believe we need some kind of global constitution, saying we all agree to human dignity, peace, prosperity, equality, justice, liberty. If we don't agree to some fundamentals, we'll keep fighting. I believe we have evolved to a point today where we can settle our differences across the table and not take guns. I believe that.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, we still have wars going on in Ukraine and, Gaza and many other, Somalia and many other parts of the world. I have great faith in our ability to resolve issues on the table. If that happens, defense spending should go down. It's not happening. Yeah. I believe redesign the world will require us one fundamental issue, and that is to shift our focus from power and profit to planet and people.
And more cooperation, more collaboration.
Absolutely, not command and control,
Yeah.
but collaboration, cooperation, co-creation.
Which we lack.
Which we lack. But we lack that because our total focus is on profit and power. As soon as we shift that, it's very simple, but it's very complicated.
Mm-hmm.
If we begin to focus on planet, saying, is it good for planet or bad for planet? If it is bad for planet, don't do it. If it is good for people of the world or bad for the people of the world. If it is bad for the people of the world, don't do it.
Let me connect the two books, because I think part of the reason why we don't have that type of leadership in the world today, the leadership that will be able to develop those institutions that you mentioned, that are...
We need new institutions.
We need new institutions, but you need new leaders. Leaders are elected today in the context of a democracy that is it's a democracy that is manipulated by polarization.
Yep.
Fake news. How can we develop the type of democracy in our countries that is not based on polarization, is not based on populism? We have populism everywhere in the world. It's not just here in Colombia. Polarization is something that today is appealing to the voter. How should we use AI to prevent polarization, to bring leaders that are essentially leaders that deliver the policies that are right, including the policies for the countries, but also that shape the global institutions? Because in the area of political polarization, which is it's the era in which we're living now, it's very hard to achieve that.
I think there is a global crisis of leadership. Leaders like what I call Mahatma Gandhi, Mandela, Martin Luther King don't exist. These were public servants. Today's leaders cease to be public servant. They use their power either for personal glory, personal agenda, or agenda of the people who put them in power. And as a result, corruption increases and systems work on perk, privilege and patronage and not on public good.
That's where AI comes into place. If AI is going to provide us with knowledge, it should bring us the knowledge about who are we electing and what do they deliver, so that people understand when they vote, what are they going to get beyond the rhetoric. So but AI should be able to help us.
Absolutely. AI can get you the knowledge you need to select your leader. But ultimately, you have to act. When you vote, you have to act.
And you have to win elections. Now, let me interject here with a comment. If you ask ChatGPT today, who is the Colombian that is most experienced, that has more knowledge to run this country, it says Mauricio Cárdenas, which doesn't mean that I will be elected.
No, but people will have to ask that question of themselves, of their friends and family, use ChatGPT, no ChatGPT, and make that decision saying, do I want to elect do I want to elect a leader who is good for larger public good? If the answer is clear, they'll vote right.
Yeah.
So we have to request all the voters that you need to vote a candidate who is good for the nation
Yes.
and not good for you or not good for one little community.
I see. Yeah. Good point. We should encourage people to use AI to ask questions about not the individual. What kind of government is best for the country?
No, but it begins with the what kind of person first.
Yeah. That's a profile. All right, Sam. Well, it's been a privilege to talk to you. So many
Thank
things
you.
to say. So happy you're in Colombia.
Thank you.
I hope you come more often. You get more connected with our country. I think your knowledge, and in your case, is more than knowledge, which is AI. That's what the individual cannot be replaced by the machine. Is wisdom.
Thank you.
The machine cannot give you wisdom.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you bring that. So thank you so much for being here.
No, thank you
Thanks
for
so
the
much
opportunity.
For getting interested.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you, everyone.